Welcome back. In this video, we'll be discussing the beauty of Zeeland and the downsides slash negatives. I've been living in Zeeland for almost 2 years, and there are a lot of things that I really like about this place, and there are some things that I really don't like about Zeeland. And let's get into it. The first couple of things that I really like about Zeeland is the environment. In general, Zeeland is probably one of the nicest regions that I've ever been in and ever been to. Before we decided to move to Zeeland, we had been to Zeeland a few times before and we really liked it. The entire reason why we wanted to move into Zeeland was because of peace. Second of all, the housing market is very different here than in the city. We all know how it goes with housing market. The closer you are central to a city or within a city, the more you pay for less square meter and etc. When you're more out of the city, you get more value for your money. What you can buy with $500,000 in the Netherlands, in like places like Zeeland, you can buy a mansion, you can buy a farm, you can buy a penthouse. That kind of stuff doesn't happen in places like Rotterdam, The Hague, etc. because you pay way more and often you don't get that much space. And what I really like about Zeeland is the peace. That's definitely one of the biggest glow ups in my opinion compared to our old place that we used to live in. We used to live back in Hellevoetsluis, and I've got such amazing 17 years of memories in Hellevoetsluis. But the older that I became, the older my parents became, the more we started to notice that it was getting more busier by the day. And let's be honest, when it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, you don't want to be woken up by your fucking neighbors screaming like dumbasses at night for no absolute reason. And this happened very often, cars racing past the houses, etc. And eventually it was also like we wanted our privacy, we wanted our peace, we wanted no neighbors whatsoever, and we do not have no neighbors whatsoever. That is why I'm always able to blast my music like a motherfucker in here, because I have no neighbors next to me or attached to me. Now, besides Zeeland being one of the nicest places in this country, it is definitely top 3, definitely without a doubt. Why I say that? Because places like Friesland, Groningen and the Veluwe, they have a lot of nature to offer. Unfortunately, Poes far away from me. It ain't like it's really close. It's about 3.5, 4 hours, but then you're on the complete opposite side of the country. Then you're like in northern Holland. We're in the south of Holland. The people are definitely different here, and in a positive way. You see, when we used to live back in the city, everyone used to bother you in a way. It didn't matter if you arrived from work or were just in your front garden or, the smallest bit of sound. People in the city often just get on your ass quicker. And in places like Zeeland, it's less. But the people are very friendly in general. I have yet to meet a person within these 2 years that is a dickhead. Everyone is so nice. And I think that's really that everyone knows each other mentality. In the city, it's nobody would care if you pass away in the street. And most people that live here, they have no kids. Or they do have kids, but they lived on their own for a very long time. A lot of people that live in Zeeland are old as well. That's the one thing you'll notice. It's not a crap ton of youngsters. Majority of people in Zeeland are older people because there's old money here. You would be surprised how much money some of these old folks have. Sure, their house may not be the biggest, but you have to remember they bought their house 30, 60, 70 years ago for dirt cheap. No money compared to now. They paid off their mortgage. They don't have a mortgage. They don't have the most fanciest cars, but you gotta understand is a lot of these old folks, they have inherited it or they have multiple houses, which a lot of people don't understand. A house doesn't define how wealthy you are necessarily. Besides the weather being nice, the weather can also be dog shit. But to be fairly honest, that's Dutch weather for you in general. The one day it can be sunny, it happens to be sunny now, but the next hour it can completely turn around and rain. So that's Dutch weather for you in general. But in Zeeland, because you live on the coast more, there's more chances and it often occurs more that there's more rain, more storm winds, and sometimes heavy storms. Now, what are a few things that I don't like that much about Zeeland, or less likely? Well, one is you're pretty far away from the rest. That's the one thing when you come into Zeeland, you'll notice everything is more countryside by means. You have more local places, which is very nice, but they're also pretty fucking disturbing, some of these local places. I can guarantee you 100% there is incest in some of these places. 100%. You always hear people joking about Sweet Home Alabama, but there are a few villages up ahead here, like 5 to 10 minutes, 15 minutes away. They're creepy as fuck. There's like 10 people, 15 people, sometimes max, living in those villages. And it makes you think, I really wonder if these people are family or they just happen to be random people that decide to live next to each other. Honestly, you don't know, but there are some inbreds in Zeeland, which you'll notice as well. The people here in general aren't always the most intelligent, which can sometimes be really fucking irritating in like supermarkets and stuff. Now, Zeeland isn't all just quiet and peace. You have a few places that I personally don't recommend going unless you like the city. Goes, Vlissingen, Middelburg, Terneuzen, Breskens. Those are places that get very busy during the summer. Breskens especially, Terneuzen especially. Why Breskens? Because it's on the coast. It is the most beautiful place you will ever see in Zeeland. Like, when I tell you it is gorgeous, it's at the end of the top of Zeeland. Like, it is absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful waters. The downside is a lot of people during the summer. And it sometimes gets really busy. Now, in about a month or two time, it will get really fucking busy here. It will get really busy here in Zeeland. And you cannot avoid that because here is the thing. A lot of people from Germany and Belgium, they love to come to Zeeland because of the environment, because of the food as well. Because if you think your fish that you've tasted in your city is good, then you obviously haven't tried the fish in Zeeland. Zeeland's fish is something else. It is beautiful. It is a fishing place. And that's one thing you'll notice as well about places like Terneuzen and etc. is a lot of fishing places. Now, I know what you're probably wondering. Okay, it sounds great, this and this and that. It's peaceful in general. It's nice. It's, not the best when it comes to distance. Because here's the thing, in Zeeland, you need a car. That's the unfortunate truth. If you live in a city, you've got everything in reach. You've got the public transportation. But trust me, you need at least a scooter or some form of car. Because like I said, a 10-minute car drive is a 35-40-minute bicycle trip, which some of you might really enjoy. But let's just be honest, the average person isn't going to be bothered to cycle 40 minutes. I sure as hell ain't. One thing I thought I should tell you as well, it's not necessarily one thing that I dislike, but this is one thing I want to know and let you know. Places like Vlissingen, Middelburg, Goes and Terneuzen are places with quite a lot of foreign people. Now, the reason why I mention that is because I don't want you to think if you go to these places, where are all the Dutch people? Because the truth is, those places don't really have that many Dutch people. And it's very noticeable. Very, very noticeable in culture, in the cleanliness of streets. Terneuzen is a fucking mess in my opinion. I hate Terneuzen. I really do. I don't ever like going there because A, it fucking stinks like fish. Second, it stinks in general there. B, the amount of homeless people at night is ridiculous. Oh, I thought I should also mention that places like Zeeland are ideal for drug places. Yeah, that's one thing that they don't tell you about, but this is like one of the biggest things in Zeeland because we're close to the border of Belgium in general. Mafia as well. Like, yes, it's no joke when people say a Belgian mafia and etc. It's a genuine thing. But do know and understand that Zeeland is the best place to purchase drugs or make drugs. Now, I do not condone it. I am not in that environment myself, never have been. But you do hear once in a while or regularly that, there's a drug lab rolled up, drug lab here, drug lab this and this and that. It's a very common thing and it shouldn't bother you if you just mind your business. You see, that's the one thing about Zeeland that I will have to admit. The weed isn't the highest quality here. No, it is unfortunately rather weak, and why, I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know why the quality is so crap in this place. You go to any other city like Amsterdam, The Hague, Rotterdam, Utrecht, the quality is good. It's really, really outstanding. You go to Den Bosch, it's amazing. But the weed in Zeeland for some reason is weak. I hope I was able to explain to you about the things that I like about Zeeland and some things that I don't like a lot about Zeeland. Without further ado, thank you so much for watching and let me know what other place I should talk about in another video. Maybe we'll make this into a little series. So yeah, peace out.